Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another exploration. This is one of the series of videos I'm making with the lovely Liz Housden. Hello, Liz.
Hello, Richard.
On the Isle of Wight, and we're doing a sort of whistle-stop tour of different places. Where have you taken me today, Liz?
Well, we started off with the ferry, didn't we,
Yes.
in Portsmouth, and then we went to the garlic farm.
That's right.
And now we're here, right at the very southernmost point of the island. Literally, the Isle of Wight is diamond-shaped.
Oh yes,
like
that's
that.
right.
We started off here, which is at the top, and we are now here, this bit there.
And
right
the bottom bit,
very
which is
bottom bit.
the nearest bit to France, as it were.
I suppose so, yes.
But not that we're near France.
No.
But we're taking a stroll up a nice hill here. What are we off to see?
We're going to see a building that is, its proper name is St Catherine's Oratory. All that's left of it is that building there that you see, which is the tower, and local people call it the Pepperpot.
Shall we go on and clamber up and have a look?
Let's
I
have a
imagine the views are spectacular from
Yes,
up there.
they are, but it's quite a climb.
Is it?
Yeah,
Right.
all right, this bit's all right.
I shall prepare myself. We've got the beautiful blue of the English Channel
Yep.
behind us, and then in the distance there, I hope you can see that, we've got the Needles right on the end, on the western side of the Isle of Wight.
The most western point of the island, yes, the Needles, yes.
Right, well let's go and have a look at, I gather it's going to be quite windy, so I'm hoping that won't be too much of an issue on the microphone as we get up there. And then once we get up there, I'll let Liz tell me all about the Pepperpot, as you know it locally.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
We are fast approaching the Pepperpot. We've just climbed up this wonderful downland slope here, and the view has improved dramatically to get this very unspoilt landscape, which goes right over to the Needles there and the chalky cliffs that Liz, who you told me as a little girl, you know, you've seen this landscape for some time.
Yes.
It's not changed too much.
No, not at all.
It's amazing.
In fact, when you know what's down there, it can't have changed centuries, actually, because
Yes.
there's hardly any new buildings.
Absolutely. It
And,
looks, you know, very, very green. We picked a particularly good day to come.
Oh, yeah.
Although the wind is blowing, so it may be a little bit windy up there, but our destination is ahead of us. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Have a look at this.
You see why it's called the Pepperpot, can't you?
Yes. I mean, I was just saying to Liz before we filmed, although it is locally known as the Pepperpot, it does look like a stone rocket to I suppose a more modern eye, perched ready to take off at any moment. First task is to navigate this gate.
Kissing gate, isn't it?
Oh yes, give us a snog.
I'll go through.
There's a sign here that says, in memory of Margaret Gill, 1933 to 2005 even. Let's go through. And there it is, ahead of us. Well, Liz has just gone on ahead. It's very windy, so I'm just going to see if I can find her. Is she inside? Here we go. Wow. Better see if I can find Liz and find out all about it. Is there? Yes, I'm coming to find out.
It's out of the wind round here.
Let's go round where it's out of the wind. Here we go. Ooh, mind the steps.
Yes.
So Liz,
Right, yeah.
gosh, we're standing in the lee of it now just to get out of the wind.
Yes.
So why have they put this rather wonderful object up here? What's its history?
Right, now we have to go back to the 14th century, the middle of the 14th century.
Okay.
And this is a real life whiskey galore story, as a matter of fact, because just down there is the most southernmost point of the island, as I've said, called St Catherine's Point, and it's dangerous and have caused much damage to shipping over the centuries. And one day there was a voyage of a boat coming from France carrying wines and brandies that unfortunately ran aground and foundered on the rocks down there. Well, the Lord of Chale, and this is area of the island is called Chale, thought he'd go and have a look, and he looked and he saw and he thought, "Ooh, wine and brandy, I'll have that."
Oh, why not?
And so he and his men took all the wine and the brandy off and took it back home again. But unfortunately, it was actually destined for the monks. So it was when the Pope got to hear about it, that this consignment of wine to the monks had been purloined by the Earl of Chale. He said, "You will make redress to us, or I will excommunicate you."
Oh, blimey.
Now, that was a serious thing in those days. And
Yeah.
so he said, "Right, okay, fine. I will build a church." And this is what he built. Now, in those days, it was a church. So it had a nave and all the other bits. And this is all that's left of it now, which was the tower.
So,
And
right. So the bell tower.
It was well, it would have been a bell tower,
Yes.
but he decided it would make it a lighthouse
Oh, right. Good
to
idea.
save other ships from foundering that way. However, it never really did work very well because, as you see, it's very high up.
Yes.
And one of the most dangerous things to shipping is either low cloud or mist. And when you've got it's misty, you can't see the light from here.
Oh, I see. So it's mist all around, and just that point when you want the light is actually hidden by the mist itself.
Very much so.
Oh, dear.
Now, this building here is the oldest medieval lighthouse in Britain.
Good God.
Yes, as I say, it was built in the mid-14th century. There is one that is older, but that's at Dover Castle, and that was built by the Romans. Right, but this is homegrown, so to speak.
Yes.
And,
wow. Amazing.
and,
what a story.
Yes, it is. And then, of course, unfortunately, Henry VIII worked his hell upon the monasteries, and in those days before that, monks would actually live up here.
Oh, right.
And so that when they thought it was needed to be a lighthouse, up they'd go, up the tower and light the lighthouse, and they would do it. But once they weren't here anymore, living here anymore, there was really nobody anymore to light it. And so it stopped really being a lighthouse then.
And the rest of the church was plundered.
It
Was it, or
would
just fell
have
to
been,
bits?
but I think it just fell to bits.
Yes.
Now, the only bit that was left was this bit. And in the late 18th century, I think it was 1785, the Lord of Chale, who lived down there, as we were looking at it now, he decided he would put these 4 buttresses here to hold up this tower and
Yes.
keep it going as a lighthouse if they could. And he did, and it still didn't make the lighthouse
It
anymore.
didn't make it any
effective.
lighter, did it?
But
it
has,
kept it
it's
for
kept
prosperity.
it, and so that's wonderful.
Yes.
And then at the same time, he decided he was going to build another lighthouse, which is a bit bigger, which is just over there. And they got about that high, 4 feet off the ground. And they looked at it and they said, "Well, it's not going to be seen any better than that one, so we'll stop."
No.
And so the shell of that is still there, and then people call that the salt pot.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's a shame one can't get right to the top, but
No,
it's
they took the stairs
the
out.
stairs.
They were wooden stairs. They took them out. I'm not quite sure.
Yes.
It was health and safety, I
Yes,
think.
of course.
Because although it's owned or managed by both National Heritage and English Heritage and the National Trust, there's nobody here on
No,
site.
yes.
So you could
that's
see
right.
what's happening, and you can't have people. But I do know that in the 40s, because it actually appears in a children's book that was written at that time, that they did have a staircase
Oh,
here,
right.
and the children in the book climbed up the staircase.
How lovely.
So
Yeah.
this
That's
is
the
the
story.
Pepperpot, and as I said to you, Richard, it's my favourite spot on the whole of the island. Yeah.
I can see why. Well, we're clambering down now, back to the car to go off on our next location on the Isle of Wight. I'm just thinking it's called the Oratory, Liz, because of the church, naturally.
Yes,
originally.
yes, that's right. It was. There would be church services there, and oratory means it was. I think it probably was just spoken. I don't know if they sang anything.
Right.
But that's what it was there for, to give sermons to when people had to climb up this hill.
I was going to say, the community's not up there, so they'd have to climb up this hill like we have.
But they did live here, the monks, and so, as I say, when Henry VIII closed it all down, that was the end of it. Because nobody lived here anymore.
No,
because obviously some monk galloping about from another part of the island because he thought he would actually need to light the lighthouse. You probably would have caught at least 6 ships foundering on the rocks.
Amazing place to live, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're going to carry on down this wonderful hill with all these buttercups and the gorse. But for now, thanks to Liz for showing me that. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. It's
pleasure.
Amazing.
I'm glad you liked it.
We've got more to see, so join us for other videos. But for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, become a patron. Leave a comment. If you've been to the Isle of Wight, if there's places that you think I ought to come back to, then do let me know. If you've been to the Pepperpot, what do you think? But until the next time, from Liz and I, goodbye.
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 Bye.
Right, I'll race you down the bottom.
Oh, well, I'm going to let you win.